good, YouTube? It's your boy Lito back at it again with another banger. And today, guys, I'm gonna be showing you how to mark, your support and resistance, and also you utilize it with your everyday trading and how you can use it and to identify, key level. With that being said, guys, make sure you guys join the Telegram chat below. I had a lot of you guys, that's been watching my videos. You definitely are already in the chat. Shout out to y'all. But definitely, join that chat because I will be doing my my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Once we get to 1,000 subscribers, we already cracked 100 within our first 2 videos. So definitely join that chat so you're a part of that giveaway, right? So also, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button if you're liking this content. And also comment below what type of videos you would like for me to see. I know a lot of you guys are definitely waiting on that Fibonacci video, but I'm not going to drop it until we get to 1,000 subscribers, right? So just go ahead and get us to 1,000 subscribers and we'll go from there. But with that being said, let me go ahead and pull up the charts and let's go ahead and get started, right? So we can see right here we have Euro USD pulled up right here on the monthly time frame. So just to, a few foundations that you guys want to follow when marking support and resistance. Take note of this, that every line that you draw on your chart should tell you a story. So you don't need a whole bunch of lines, just for no reason, right? So you only mark things that literally tell you a story, right? So on the monthly time frame, starting with the highest time frame, because you want to be able to mark the most key and important levels when you're trading, right? And depending on what type of trader you are, it'll differentiate, whatever zones that you need. But for the most part, I like to start on the monthly time frame. So I can see right here that if I was to turn on my line tool, I also turn on my line tool just so I can see price more clear without all of the noise of the wicks and stuff, right? So when I see my monthly time frame, I can see right here that this is acting as a level of support right here. And for a level of support or resistance, you need a minimum of 2 to 3 touches, right? So we could see price touch here once and touch twice. So let me go ahead and give you guys examples actually of what support and resistance actually is, because some people don't know. So for resistance, you want to think of resistance as the ceiling, right? So think of resistance as the ceiling and support as the floor, right? Support as the floor. So we can see right here, this looks like a floor, right? If you were standing right on top of this, you can see that this will be acting as the floor level, right? So where would we mark our ceiling? We will mark our ceiling at a high point where price was respecting, and we could see that price touched here 1 time, 2 times, and 3 times right here. So right here was acting as the level of resistance. And be mindful that this is on a monthly time frame. So like I said, every line that we draw on our chart tells us a story. So right here we have the story that every time price came to this floor or this support level, it went up. It came to this level, it went up. Price came to this level before, it went up. It went up until the price came to this level acting as resistance. It eventually went down, right? So we can drop down to the weekly time frame and we can go ahead and mark our same levels, our support and resistance levels, right? So we're going to be looking for the same thing, 2 to 3 touches. So we can see right here that this is a clear level of resistance right here. And also be mindful, guys, that in order to not confuse yourself, sometimes you want to color code your support lines or resistance lines by the time frame. That way you know exactly what type of support and resistance you're at. So for the monthly time frame, let's go back to that. This monthly time frame, I'm going to go ahead and label these red, right? For the monthly, I'm going to label those red. So for the weekly, drop down to the weekly, I'll go ahead and label those let's do orange, right? So we have a level of resistance right here, and we don't need to go all the way back when Jesus was born, because at the end of the day, like that's irrelevant. We're already on the weekly time frame. So let's just stay let's mark up what's truly in front of us. So on the weekly, we can see that's a key level, And then also we can see that this is a level of support right here, and this is a level of resistance. So we don't really, like I said, we don't really need a whole bunch of lines on our chart, right? So daily, do the same thing. We'll make the daily ones, we'll go ahead and make these green. Oops. We'll make the daily ones green. So we're just looking for the same thing. You know, we want to see 2 to 3 touches. Right here we can see 2 touches. And we can see that some of our weekly levels are acting as our, you know, support and resistance line on our daily because they match up. So we can see right here that price is acting as support resistance. So it touched about 3-4 times. Now we could drop down to our 4 hour. And this is where we kind of, you know, pay attention to most, because now we're dropping down time frames. We're getting close to price as possible. And these where our current zones where we at in the market are going to matter the most. So these are the zones that we really want to have precise, right? So for the 4 hour, I'll go ahead and make these ones blue. Make these blue. Just so I don't do this, but just for, you know, educational purposes, I want you guys to be able to like dictate and distinguish what time frame support and resistance you guys have. So another way to do it would be to double click it and just label it as like 4 hour 4 hour, you know, support and resistance, right? So we had those lines labeled as 4 hour support and resistance. So now when we come back to our markup, we won't be wondering like, oh, what exactly was this, you know, line or whatever. So that's how, you know, you would distinguish what levels are what. So we, like I said, every line that you draw on your chart tells you a story. So this line that we drew right here was every time price touched this line right here, it dropped. Every time price touched this line right here, it dropped. And if we were to go back, we could see it again. Every time price touched this line, it drops. So that's the story that we have on this 4 hour level of resistance that is acting upon. So let's go ahead and clear those off. So now that we have our 4 hour levels pretty much marked for where we are currently at in the market, we can go back to our candlesticks just so we can see overall price. And then if we want to add a few more, we definitely can. So we could see that we had our 4 hour level of support and resistance. This will be our ceiling right here. This will be our ceiling. This will be our floor in this case, right? So when you're looking at support and resistance, when price starts to like consolidate and things of this nature, you can pretty much trade this range if you really know what you're doing. But if it's not, and you're trying to flow with the market, you will wait for one of these support resistance areas to be broken. So depending on the type of, you know, trader that you are, these levels are going to have, you know, different significance to you. Because if you're a scalper, then these 4 hour levels are, you know, you're not going to encounter too many 4 hour zones. You're going to have like 15-minute and 30-minute zones if you're a scalper. But if you're like an intraday trader or a swing trader, these 4 hour and daily and weekly levels are going to be crucial to you, right? So also be mindful that, you know, when you mark up these areas of support and resistance, these lines aren't just, you know, the indication that price is going to turn around right there, right? So this line is not the exact pinpoint area where price is going to absolutely reject it. So when you think about support and resistance, you want to think about it as a zone. So if I were to draw this zone, that's how we indicate our levels of support and resistance, because ultimately at the end of the day, they are zones. They're not just lines. So we can see right here that this, now that we drew this these zones on here, price looks it makes a little bit more sense, right? So it's not just this one level right here or this one level right here, but it's this area of this zone where price is respecting and acting as support. And if we were to do this right here too as well, we could draw a zone right here, and then we could draw a zone right here as well, and then also we could drag it over. So if we were to drag it over, we can see now this area makes a lot more sense, because this is the area of resistance, but it's an overall zone and not just just this one orange line, because this was a weekly level, but we know that this is overall a zone now, right? So you're probably wondering, you know, how can I use these zones, or how can I, you know, mark support and resistance for my everyday trading? So as you drop down time frames, or even now you're not dropping down time frames, you guys can see that when you're looking at these, and you're in a trending market, it's almost like the price is climbing staircases. So if you just look at it like this, it looks like price is just going up the stairs, right? So when you're trading, you literally could trade zone to zone, and some people, that's how they literally trade. If it were to break this zone right here and retest, somebody would take it to the next zone. Break this zone, take it to the next zone. Break this zone, then take it to the next zone. Like, that's literally how some people trade. So like I said, use this in confluence to whatever way you like to trade, and also be mindful that there are levels of support and resistance horizontally, and there are also levels of diagonal levels of support and resistance, which aka will sometimes be indicated as a trend line. So if I were to draw a trend line right here, the story that I got on this trend line was every time price touched this trend line, it went up. So we can see right here, price went up. Right here, price went up. Boom, right here, price went up. And that is in confluence with our overall levels of support and resistance. So like in this level right here, price tested this trend line, but also tested this resistance that was broken that turned to support, and tested this trend line and eventually went up. So now you had confluence. If price was to break this trend line and break this level of resistance, aka support, then we will be looking to sell it down. So that's one way that you guys can utilize, you know, marking support and resistance and confluence with your trading. And then also you can utilize this support and resistance as, you know, confluence with other tools. Like say for instance, if you use Fibonacci. So in this case scenario, we had a Fibonacci right here. So from our point A to our point B, our swing high to our swing low. So let's go ahead and indicate that from right here to right here. We can see that price pulled back to this 50% level, but this was also exactly right at our zone that we had marked up previously. So this gave us confluence that when price started to pull back, we could expect price to pull back to this zone, because we knew how we marked this zone. So that's why it's important to have, you know, certain support and resistance zones and lines marked. That way you can use them in confluence with your everyday trading. So we could see that price came right here, came to this zone, and then gave us an engulfing candle up. So that let us know, like, okay, now we're going to be looking to head back up on with the trend. So definitely utilize, you know, your support and resistance, and use it in confluence with your everyday trading, right? And like I was saying, if it breaks one zone or it respects the zone, then you can definitely trade it like that. So the name of the game is, you know, buy low, sell high. So in this case right here, this was a low point in the market, so we're looking for buys, right? We're looking at buys at support. So buy at support, sell at resistance for the most part. Not every single time, but in confluence with other indications of the market. So we could see right here, price came to this level of support and bought up. Price came to this level of support and bought up. So the story of this zone right here is that every time price touched this orange box and this black line, that it went up. So you just kind of got to make it make sense to what you overall are, you know, what you're looking for in the market. And also we are on a 4-hour time frame, so we know that these 4-hour levels, these green levels, I believe that they were our monthly levels, and we use that in confluence. We know that this is a very strong level because it is a monthly level. So now that we know, like, price is more than likely, if it's coming down, it's more than likely gonna stop at this area right here. So let's say for instance we were on like our 15-minute chart. So when we have our 4-hour levels of support and resistance, you can see that every time when price was at our 4-hour level of support, that's when we seen our major reversals. So we can see from our 4-hour resistance zone, it dropped 100 pips. From our 4-hour support zone, it went up 100 pips. So like, that's what I was saying. Depending on the trader that you are, you can utilize these. But like if you were a scalper, then of course you might have some 15-minute support and resistance zones that you're paying attention to. But at the end of the day, the 4 hour, the monthly, the daily, the 4 hour, the daily, the weekly, and the monthly are the most key levels of support and resistance that you can have. And like I said, depending on the trader, you're going to be looking for those levels, to completely mark up your chart. Now, you don't have to keep all of these lines on your chart at all times just to keep them on there. So what I like to do is I like to have on what's relevant, right? Unless it's like a monthly level or a weekly level, I might leave it on there. But if it's just like 4 hour levels, I'm only paying attention to where its price is currently at. So in this area right here, this is pretty much where I'm looking at, because this is my overall price. I really don't care about, all of this other stuff down here, because that's not where price is at. Until we get to that area, I really don't care for it. So we can see right there, this is our overall area where the market is at. So we have our 4 hour levels of support. So right here for Euro USD, in this case scenario, this is what we'd be looking for. We could see that prices ranging in between this support and resistance levels, right? So just a quick pointer that you guys could use. You guys really could literally just trade the breakout of this level, right? So you could trade the break and retest of this, or you could trade the break and retest of this level. So having support and resistance is kind of like, something super important that you guys need, because it allows you to capitalize on opportunities in the market that you may have if you didn't have these support and resistance levels. So you can see that, the market is literally making higher highs and higher lows. So let's see, let's get this, let's make this a little bigger. Boom, so higher highs and higher lows. So what's the next move? If price breaks above this level, then we're going to take it. If price breaks this resistance in a retest, then we're going to take it up to this next level right here. If price comes down and breaks this most recent higher low, then we're going to be looking for a retest and then take it down to the next level of previous resistance, which will now be support. So like, it literally makes trading that simple, guys. So you definitely, utilize this in your everyday trading. And then also, let me go ahead and show you guys how to use it in Confluence with the pivots, right? So in my last video, I showed you guys how to use the pivots in the 50 EMA. So we can see right here, this is how you know your zones are A1. So we could see that this R1, if I was to move this zone right here, lines up perfectly with our 4 hour support, right? Lines up perfectly. And then right here, this S2 was lined up perfectly with this overall support level right here. So we can see that our zones match up completely. So then that gives you an extra confluence that you guys, that you guys can use to let you know that you're in the right areas, and price may see, you may see a level of rejection, or you might see price rejected those areas, or you might see price burst through those areas, retest, and allow you to capitalize on your entries when you're trading. So definitely go ahead and use this, guys. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, make sure feel free that you guys DM me on Instagram at mike.lito. On Instagram, make sure you guys go ahead and follow me. Also, drop in the comment box what you guys would like me to touch basis on, and I'll definitely make a video for it. Peace out, love. Everybody enjoy the holidays. Christmas coming up. I'll be dropping a lot of videos for December, heading into the new year, so I'm definitely excited for that. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button to get us to 1,000 subscribers. New videos coming soon. Peace out.